Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah, Perek Vav Halacha Gimel. The shame, anything that's attached to the name before it can be erased. Kigoyin Lamed. Let's see. Like the Lamed Mi La Hashem. Ubeis Mi Bo Elikim. Kiyotze Bezeh. And other things like that. Einen B'Kedush Hashem. They don't have the sanctity of the Shem Hashem. Hashem Me'achoyrov. Anything that's attached to the Shem after it, Kigoyin Chov Shelo Likecho, V'Chem Shelo Likechem, Kiyotze B'hem, and the similar, the like of it. Einan Chokim, they are not erasable. Ayim Kishar Oishis Shel Shem, they have the same holiness as the other parts of the name. V'Nei Hashem Mekacha, because the Shem Hashem sanctifies them. And since they're part of it, then they have Peirush Hashem. The source is in Shuas 35b. There's a disagreement. Only those letters that after the Shem, or also the letters that are before the Shem, are holy and are forbidden to be erased. And the Gemara decides the halacha is like those who say only those letters that after the Shem are forbidden to be erased. And even though they became holy and it's forbidden to erase them, somebody who erases these attached endings does not get malchus, lashes. I'm not going to say malchus maldus, but he gets malchus maldus with a rabbonon. We can't the Mishnah prove from here his opinion. There's a difference between the oasis of the shame, that they're kedushas in and of themselves, and if you erase one of them, you're liable to malchus. So between the oasis, they're not part of the shem. The shem sanctify them, even though it's forbidden to erase them. Well, you don't get malchus on their erasure, only malchus maldus. This is the difference between the Taz and the Mases Binyamin. We learned it before, with the Yud of Elikai is considered from the shame itself. You get malchus, or it's attached to the shame, and you only get rabbinical lashes. Our rabbis disagree in the letters that are attached after the name, that they don't have malchus, only malchus maldus, rabbinically lashes. If it's the rabbonon or the raisa, the Taz of the opinion that it's forbidden only in the rabbonon. Therefore, there's only malchus rabbonon, like every it's a rabbonon that you have on it malchus maldus. According to your Rae Gann Kodesh, like some Sefer, the forbiddenness is deraisa, because in the Rambam it would seem there's no difference between the oasis Hashem between those that are attached, except for the punishment, whether you get lashes or malchus maldus. The reason that you don't get malchus in that Torah, even though it's deraisa, because it says in the pasuk, Lo yisasun kein Hashem lekechem. And since that the attached is not specifically in the pasuk, therefore you don't get malchus. That's the Rambam's opinion everywhere. According to this understanding, the Rachaim explains the pasuk, V'atem adveikem Hashem Elokeichem, you are attached to Hashem, because the Shem Havaya, there's no letters that are attached to it after it, only before it. La Hashem, Ma Hashem. And ba'oishis that with Hashem we say there's no kedusha, and you can erase them. However, Yisrael are commanded to be attached to Hashem, so therefore they have to be like the letters that are after Hashem. That's why it says Haveikim Hashem Elokeichem. You are attached like the Chem is attached to Elokim. That there, those letters do have a kedusha because of the Shem Hashem. According to the Balei Yereim, Rabbi Akiva Eiger brings it down in Shulchan Aruch. Not every place can you erase the letters that are before the Shem. Only if you wrote the Shem on a vessel or a beam, that's not where you would usually write it. But if you wrote it on parchment, even the letters that precede the shame are not permitted to be erased. And the Rabbi Kiva Eger writes that what we see from the posuk is that there's no difference between parchment and vessels, and even in parchment you can erase it as well. Furthermore, according to the Uraim, if you write the shame and you do not have an intent to sanctify it, it has no kedusha. As proven from the Gemara in Shabbos 104b, if he intended to write Yehuda and he wrote Yehuda without the Daled, according to Yehuda, all he has to do is go over it with a quill and make it holy. The Chacham say that the Shem is not Kodesh ever. And even according to Yehuda, it's not obviously the best way of doing things. So we see from the Uraim that a name that's written not according to B'Kedusha has no forbiddenness to erase it. Halacha Vav will see more so at length in the Shita of the Balei Uraim. According to Pichodesh and the Chavas Yoel, even a name that's written without Kedusha has a forbiddenness to be erased, not Torah, not like the Uraim. And so the Chassam Sofer is of the opinion in his Chidushim. But the Shach says that in Torah it is erased, but it's also in Rabbanon. Only if he has to rectify it, then he's allowed to do it. Because it's better to rectify it than to leave it the Sefer Torah apostle.